There you guys. I just put the trim on. And then I just got puttied up. I've already knocked the nails in so they're below, so I've just got to putty these up, fix it all up, put the doors on, and then I've put the jamb in. The padding. So there you go, she's all done. You know, it's not the most quietest thing on the planet, but she's pretty good. I had a little bit of a twangle on my guitar, just test the system out, make sure it all works. I've got recording coming up, so I've got my baby out, just set it up, so ready to go for the recording tomorrow. So as you can see, she's all done, dusted. Yeah, she's ready to go. Yeah, so actually if you're inside, she's pretty damn quiet in here. So there you go, I'm in here. Can't really hear anything. So when I've finished painting the door, I'll actually put some more of this soundproofing on the back of here. Possibly if it's got a little bit of noise, but there you go. She's all done. The jamb's in, and as you can tell, you can't really hear anything outside. So there you go. So here we are. We're doing the first test of the sound booth. We're doing a recording. This is Fiona, and we're doing the recording for her meditation CD. So it was pretty good. Didn't get any noise out of the room. Everything was reasonably quiet. It was really good. It was great. It worked well. Now I'm going to finish off the front wall. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock in all the little nail holes so I can bog it up, and then I'm going to go along and put a bit of an angle on the joins, so when I put the putty in, it's got an angle on it, so it's got more to fill. Sometimes when you have a straight edge, that little line there has a tendency to fall out, so I'm putting a bit of an angle on it. But anyway, so here we go, back into the build. I've got to get the door frame done. I've finally found a company that can actually get me a lock that I require. It's a Mortise Lock, so it actually goes into the door frame. Because I've got the door opening outwards, it's actually opposite, so putting a deadlock on a normal door in reverse, it sits on the back of the door, so it's got to go all the way through the door frame before it actually latches. So once I get the frame in, I can actually give the guy a call and then give him the measurements, and then I can get my door organised, because I'd like to get this wall finished before I absolutely wear out the roller door on the top of the roof inside, or the ceiling inside. So anyway, I'll get into it, eh? Now I've completed that, I can go along and now give her a clean down, get it all ready to go, put the putty in, and then I can prime it, give it a paint job, get the door frame in, and then seal it off. Basically what I want to do, because it's been quite a while since I've done it, I'm starting to get stains at the bottom of the door, off the bottom of the walls there, so I'm getting water in there, so I need to seal it pretty soon before it goes off. Anyway, as you can see, I've already got the door up. We did that yesterday. There was a lot of mucking around. The frame was slightly bowed. I had to bring out the framework. A lot of mucking around. Because it's a solid door, I put 4 hinges on, so I've got 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom to give it plenty of heat. This is called a Mortise Lock, which I've been exceptionally lucky, and it actually goes into the door frame, because I wanted a deadlock, because I've put electric strike on. So when I'm inside, I'm going to put a panel in here, and if I'm recording or whatever and I've got everything going, they can actually press a button, and instead of a noise going in there, I'll have a flashing red light, so I'll know someone's at the door, and I can actually press a button and then they can let themselves in. Hence why I've had to go with the Mortise Lock. So I did really well. I got a nice handle inside. It's all been hung, and it's the door. I've just got to put the door jamb behind it and all that so far. As you will notice too, I've actually bogged all these. Okay, this is now getting ready for painting. I'm going to do that this afternoon. I've done the trim, painted that. You don't need to see me painting stuff. Okay, this electronic gear was originally for our old house, and we never actually got to do it. It was going to be for our front gate. So I decided I was going to use it here since I had the gear. So this is actually the unit that you actually talk to. So this gear here, because of the depth of the unit, if I bolt it straight to the wall, it'll actually, if I ever want to pull the roller door down, it's going to hit it. So what I've decided to do is I'm actually going to cut this out, and it gives me an extra 12 mil to drop in the wall. I'll take a larger panel and then glue it on the back, and then that steps it into the framework a bit. I still get the soundproofing because I've still got the 12 mil, but then it'll just be set back in the wall a little bit. Okay? So yeah, so all you do is press the button in there, light a flash, and then I can talk to you and say come on in, whatever. Press the button and then this stripe will let go and you'll walk in. And then in the inside, this is the actual phone itself. So pick it up, talk like a normal phone. I've got a setting where I can actually turn off the ringtone because I don't need it to make a noise in there. If I'm recording in the middle of the room there, I don't need this thing to go bring, 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 and then, you know, stuffs the recording up. So what it'll do is I've got an extension where I can run out and I can put it to a light or an external whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a light, and then all I have to do is pick it up, press that button, and unlocks this, and people come on in. And so I at least get to utilise gear that I bought ages ago that I've never used. It runs on simple 12 volts. So I'll run it around, put a 12 volt pack at the other end. I think it's about 15 volts or something, but 12 volts is close enough. I can plug it into the power source at the other end where the main unit is. And then all I've got to do is just like a simple small cabling run here because it's only low volts. Run over here and it powers it and off it goes. Okay, and as I was saying before, I'll have the unit bound in here. So this is my work area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the actual phone itself and mount it onto that upright bracket to see like that. And then I'll take a little red light and then mount it under here so when I'm working at the desk I can actually see the little light flashing. All I have to do is pick the phone up, press the button, in and out they come if I'm not working or haven't got anything going on live in the room. Okay, all the bogging's done. I've puttied it all up, done a second coat on it, I've sanded it all back. Now it's ready to go along and be painted. But before I do that, I need to go around all the edges and run a bead of silicone. So I actually make it watertight. I don't need it to let water underneath the timber. There's enough damage already. So I've just got to go around and do the edgings, and then I can put the undercoat. Well, it's a 3-in-1, it's a prime, it's a fungal, blah blah blah. Alright, so I'm going to go around with Sika. This is actually the reason why you get I've gotten this one simply is because it's paintable. Okay, there's parts of this that's going to cover that I need to paint over, so I've gotten one that's actually paintable. Okay, and this is a new thing I just found in the shop. 9 times out of 10, I don't know what you guys are like, but when you go along and use any form of silicone type base stuff, when you put a cap on and you've opened it up, 9 times out of the 10 the bloody thing dries out. Well, they've actually brought out, these guys have brought out now a cap for it, so you can actually, when you're using it, because this is a separate item, okay, 2 bits, this comes separate. Yeah, so these now got a brand, they've actually got a screw top which will keep the air out and stop it from going rock hard. And this is the paint that I'm going to use. It's a Taubman's, it's 3-in-1, so it's interior and exterior, and it seals it, primes it, and link coats it all in one hit. Okay, so this is good shit. It's also supposed to stop fungal and all the other muck from getting into the back of it. Okay, so once I've done the silicone, I dry off with it. There's a little trick I learned a long time ago. When you're running a bead of silicone, you know how you want to go along and make it flat? A lot of people, you end up with muck everywhere because when you push on it spreads and all that sort of stuff. The trick is you use a little watering can, and then when you've done your bead you squirt it, because this stuff doesn't like water, it repels it. So what happens is when the other part is wet and you run your finger or whatever you want to use down there to give you a nice smooth finish, it won't stick to the rest of the surface because it's wet. Just a little trick I learned a long time ago. Alright, let's get into it. Now the silicon's in place, as you can see the little white bead in there. What you do now is you get a little squirty bottle of water and then just wet the surrounding area. Alright, so as you can see there's water running down the middle of it. Okay. And what you do is you get your nice finger. Or you can wear gloves, doesn't really matter. And now you can see the bead is done nice and neat. It's a bit difficult on timber. It does leave a little bit of residue because timber's not like, you know, painted walls and stuff like that. But basically the only downside there is looks like I've hit a nail somewhere and split it. But anyway, it's all good. Right, so that's basically how it's done. And then I'm just got to do the bottom one to do now. The other side's done, and then tomorrow after 24 hours I'll let it dry and then I can paint the wall. Alright, we're ready to go. She's all nice and dry, ready to go. Beautiful day for painting. See how we get into it, eh? Alright, so now the primer's on, ready to go. I've got to let it dry, go over to brekkie and then come back and we'll put a top coat on it. Alright, here we go. Time to get on with the top coat, eh? Well, there you go, I've just put the top coat on. That's the end of that. I've run out of days, it's nearly getting dark, so I'm not going to be able to get the door, so I'm going to take the door off tomorrow. I've got to trim a bit off the bottom and then I'll be painting that or undercoating it and getting ready. I'll have to get the paint during the week sometime for that. It's going to be an orangey colour. And then hopefully if I get enough time I'm going to put the trim around and that means then once that's on and the door's off I can actually put the door jamb, or I've got to paint the inside of the door frame and then I can put the door jamb in, and then basically I can actually leave this open, not have to pull the roller door down, but because of the weather and the dew and all that I'm going to have to pull the door down to protect that door because it'll blow up. We get a bit of moisture on it or a bit of rain tonight, that'll be all week gone. Anyway, so that's it me for the day. Anyway, take care. Cheers.